So, hello, I am back, and I was trying to make a video for the audience, but I'm so bad at it. Like, I don't know. As soon as I thought like I have to make a video for the audience, I cannot like talk about this book at all. So let's make this video for me only. Okay, so the book's title is The Courage to be Disliked, and the author is Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga. I'm so relieved when I'm making this video for myself, and I was so worried when I was trying to make this video for audience or people. And but because I had this video, so just make it for me only. Like, this book is a interesting intersection between philosophy, psychology, and life advice, like self-help book, because it feels like three in one combo, like a life advice book, a self-help book, a philosophy book, and as well as little bit hint of psychology. And in the author's note, it is written that it is based on Adlerian psychology, Adler's philosophical principle. And to be honest, this is the first time I have heard the name of Adler, and I have not researched about what Adler's principles are. So I am going to know about Adler's philosophy or from this book only. So I think from the perspective of that point, this book really does provide new information, because I haven't heard about Adler, and but I have heard about Freud and Carl Jung. Book is divided into 5 parts. The first part is the first night, 5 nights, and the young person and the philosopher have discussion on the 5 nights. I have read only the first night till date, and I have to read like the others maybe soon. So for the first night, the title is Deny Trauma. The Unknown Third Giant. Okay, so the unknown third giant is Adler. Between there were three more important people in psychology, and first is Sigmund Freud, who thinks like people thinks in terms of power, not power, unconscious needs and desires, and that guides them. And Carl Jung has a perspective that people thinks in terms of power or maybe superiority or inferiority complex, and from there like people based their ideas. But the viewpoint of Adler is that people think in terms of relationship or interpersonal connections. So maybe we can read that and I can tell you. So Adlerian psychology is more of an individual psychology. It has unique perspective, like uh, that our actions are not based on our past experience, but our actions have a goal. Our future desires are something different, and we are trying to avoid maybe some type of future consequences, and for that we take our present actions. So it has a part like our present actions or work are coming from a center of our present identity or present lifestyle, and also to avoid future consequences. Like our actions has a goal, and to achieve that goal we perform today's action, and not because of the effect of past. So it is not a uh, uh, Adlerian psychology, or maybe the philosopher in the book explain that the actions we are doing today are not the effect of the past, but it is to obtain a future goal. Like we might a unconscious future goal that we don't know, but to get that goal we are doing something in the present. Like consciously, for example, consciously we want to pass an exam, but unconsciously we want to maybe avoid the pressure of the exam. So our action would follow that second goal, that to avoid the pressure of the exam we will not do the work today, and but we want to do it, but our identity is that I want to avoid the pressure of the exam. uh, so because of that, I will in present like not take action. And so this has three components: that people's actions are driven by their worldview and their lifestyle, their self image. Like if they think like they can change, if they think they have agency, they will take actions from their that part of uh, idea. But if they think like they don't have any agency, so maybe they won't take action, because they think like they don't have any agency in the world. So in this chapter, that what is individual's idea of the world is going to decide, or his idea of his own inner agency or his self belief is going to decide his actions, and not objectively what is going on the world. So according to this book, the world is not objective, it is a subjective world. And as we change our idea about the objective world, we will going to change our reality. Like as we change our ideas, as we refine our thinking about world, or our and our self belief, we are going to change. So people can change as they change their identity or their ideas about what the world is and how they function. So but the first chapter has a unique take on trauma, that the actions are like denying trauma is a very strong take, I feel. And this could be the criticism of the book, like why take such a strong take that trauma doesn't exist. But there is a strong take in this book, like trauma doesn't exist. And I don't know what to do with this take, because of course the philosopher has a position and he is vouching for it, but I am not totally in line with this idea. But what the philosopher is saying, that people mostly are not driven by their past effects, but because they fear future consequences. In this book, they take the example of a person who like cannot leave their house because of some negative experiences. And uh, and the philosopher says that he is not leaving the house not because of his negative experiences, but because he wants like people to care for him, and he wants like attention of his parents. So he is trying to be a person who can get attention by totally not allowing himself to go out. So he has a future goal. In reliance of that, or in like according to that future goal, he is trying to do the present action. So I feel it is kind of a similar thing like the past, but it is said in a different way. And because they change the question and doesn't like go into this topic seriously, so I don't feel satisfied fully with this example, because they change the question in the middle, and we cannot talk about the because it was the example of a friend, we cannot talk about it more, and let's take your example. And a similar example for the person is like he is not able to change. From there we go to the part that because your worldview and your self identity is not aligning, that's why you're thinking like I want to be some other person, but you also don't want to be that other person, because you are just want a projection of the other person. So in the second example, the the young person whose name we don't even know, youth, is they don't like themselves and they want to be other person who can live like enjoy life, who is not like self aware, who doesn't know, who like seems to have it all like together, and they are not that and they want to be that person. But the philosopher says like you don't want to be that person, otherwise you would have been. So the youth says like no, I do really want to be a person who has all of that put together. So the philosopher says that why don't you change? So the youth says because it is not in my hands to change and I can't change. And the discussion goes on that no, you can change, as people like change their worldview or align their idea of self-worth, they can change. And but the underlying thing is that the person is happy with who they not happy, but uh, they are comfortable in their situation right now. And because they are comfortable and they have a hidden goal, like maybe the youth that doesn't want to change because he doesn't want the attention of other people which comes when he becomes a different person. So because of that goal he is not changing, but he I don't so they try to explain that people have different desires. What we say our desires are not really our desires, but we are aligning our present action with our hidden desires or for like our comfort zone, which is another word which I don't like to use. But we have like we are not changing ourselves because we are living in alignment with our identity, and as soon as we change our identity we can change. I feel like I could post this video, but I don't know. The purpose of an action. So in this book the word is used as teleology, that there is no cause of this action, there is a purpose of this action. Like you are performing this action for a purpose and you have to find out what that purpose is. And until you do, you are going to perform this unconscious action which is in alignment of that purpose, but you don't know what that purpose is. So I feel like this book is really difficult to explain because it's given in a dialogue format, and the way it deals with the person is the way we are supposed to read it. So when I explain it to you, you will not totally get it. So definitely this is a must read book to even like understand this book. Not that that it will change your life, but it will definitely give you a new perspective, and definitely can change your life maybe. So because I have not read the full book, so I can't say what's going to happen. In the first night, the following objectives are given: that life, our lifestyle, our image and self-worth determine our action. Like our action has a purpose. They may be hidden, like they They are our unconscious, not I don't want to use unconscious word because it was Sigmund Freud word, but we have a unconscious like purposes, and to fulfill those we don't change, but we say to ourselves that we are not changing because of our circumstances, but that's not it. You choose unhappiness because it's the most practical option. So one more radical take is that no one consciously choose like harm, so harm for themselves. So maybe you will think like me, when I'm scrolling reels I'm consciously choosing harm for myself, but it's not it. Like at that time that is the most practical options to seem to you, like to scroll reels, and that you choose that. So no one can choose for themselves like harmful options. That is what this book is going to say. So when you are not changing, because that is the most practical option there is, like when you are procrastinating, that is the most practical option you think that that is. And the courage to be happy. So the title is the courage to be disliked. So it is going to delve into interpersonal relationship, like how all of our struggles are interpersonal relationship. Like suppose a person doesn't want to go to work, so it's not that he don't want to go to work, but he doesn't want to deal with people, bosses or subordinates, and the interpersonal relationship that comes with it. That's why he doesn't want to go to work. So the book in the second part, or the in like further will go like all our struggles are interpersonal struggles. That's why the title is that we need to have like a courage to be disliked, that we are not going to fulfill everyone's desire. But in the first chapter the focus is more on the courage to be happy, that we have to choose our happiness. And happiness meaning we have to uh, because sometimes maybe the being sad or being just stuck is the most practical option, like the most comfortable option. Like maybe the scrolling reels or procrastinating is the most like practical option for that day. But the courage to be happy is to not choose that practical option, or not, because our center sometimes are is lack of self-worth, is lack of belief in the world. Like we think like we don't change the world, our actions don't matter, by our actions we can't get the goals we want. That's our self identity. So the work on the self identity will going to take long time. And the first step is to just choose happiness and choose the work for today. Like today I am not going to choose the practical option, or I will choose the courageous option to do the work that is needed to be done. Like uh, so that is the courage like refers to here, in my opinion. Like I am I am trying to analyze the book with you. So the courage to be is happy is to courage to choose to look at the world from different lenses, to look at our own self image and try to change that, to not choose the most practical option when it is harmful for us, and to not choose the like easy way out and take the hard road. So all of that needs courage, and that's why the book refers that to live a happy life you need to have the courage to choose like a happy life. So that refers to the courage to be happy. And overall the message of the first night is that you can choose your actions, because your actions are not determined by your past. You can change your action, and that therefore change your future. Like nothing is determined by your past, and what your life is determined by your actions here and now. And if you do your work here and now, your future is going to change. So you have like our actions have a purpose, and you have to change that purpose. Or maybe even find the hidden purposes that are like causing present actions, and then change the identity that is going that is like generating that hidden purposes, and get new purpose and align your identity with that. So it is a lot of work, I feel like, when I'm talking, but in this book, like, it is not analyzed like that. But it is said that you can change your life if you choose your actions in present. Like, if you try to change your present action, your future is going to change, and your present actions are not determined your past at all. Like, this book is very adamant on the fact, like, deny trauma, deny past, like past doesn't exist. This book is going to say this phrase a lot. So okay, so I think I can sum up the first chapter, the first night. In the first night, it is saying that you are deceiving yourself by saying that you want something but not choosing that. And there is a deception there, because you have two purposes. One is maybe some purpose given by society, or you think that you need to do, and other purpose is yourself given, like, maybe I need to avoid discomfort, or maybe that is not even self purpose, that is just a purpose that is biological or maybe practical, that I need to avoid discomfort. That is identity or self image driven purpose, that I am not, maybe my actions don't matter, what I do don't produce result, the world doesn't going to change, so why take any actions. And the second type of self image or world image, like your lifestyle is determining your present actions, and you need to change that. So outwardly, no matter how many uh, goals you have, or how many purposes you have, you're not going to do work for them until you change your hidden purposes or your hidden, like, self identity or world image. And only by changing that, you can change your present actions, or your future, or your, like, you can you can uh, get the version of you that you want to become, only by not deceiving yourself. So you need to find out, uh, you for using the psychological terms, your limiting beliefs, that what are your limiting beliefs are, that are stopping you from doing the work that you really should do and really want to do, and work on them. So I added, so that was it, that was the first night. I added a lot of my own explanations, and I feel I only felt comfortable making this video when I was making it for myself. So I'm going to post this video publicly. But whoever has watched till the end, thank you for watching the end. If you want more of these videos, you can let me know. And give this book a read. There is so much more in this book that I can't explain in words, and because I have not, like, I have a script, I fumbled a lot. And uh, this is my first, like, video on you, not first, but I am making a lot of, like, non structured scripted videos. So this is going to be my video format for now. So thank you for watching. If you want more videos like this, you can comment down below. And if you want book summaries of any of the book, you can comment down below that. And thank you very much for watching till the end. And change your ideas, change, like, find your, like, what is your self image, what is your world image, and how that is hindering you from achieving your goals, and change that, and like align yourself with your goals. So there is a connection between your identity, your actions, and the result or consequences. And when you change your identity, when you refine who you are, when you find yourself and be honest, will when you will be honest with yourself, like things will going to change. So with that, bye, and see you in another video.